They are like Sadiq. When we first questioned him, it was done by my deputy investigator from Finland to get an impression on his reliability. I sent my Swedish investigator to get an impression, and he found him reliable. Afterwards, I then sent the chief of investigation, German colleague, to interview him. He found him reliable to some extent. I mean, what kind of witnesses do you expect in a case like this? If you're dealing with a traffic accident, you have people who are looking outside their windows and observe something, who are on the street and observe something. But in a case like this, I mean, you have to rely on witnesses or suspects who are involved. You don't have to, as I said in this Wall Street Journal interview, you don't have white angels coming down from cloud number 9 and telling you all the truth. You have to deal with these people. Like the Labelle case was solved because one suspect felt threatened, and then he came up with a whole story. So these are the kind of witnesses you have to deal with in a terrorist case.
You still consider that Mohammed Zuhair al-Siddiq is what we call Shahid al-Malak in Arabic. That means the king witness. He's so important till now for the commission, for the tribunal.
I don't know. I don't know, because I haven't been involved over the past 2.5 years. At that time, we felt he gave important elements to the investigation, and he was never considered as a crown witness. Some journalists made him a crown witness, but there were elements in his testimony which was put on paper, which was filmed, which was signed by him, and not. I mean, this testimony is not one page. It's 10, 12, 15, 20 pages, everything he said written down, signed by him, read to him. So it's something which can be checked. We found something inaccurate. We found other things of being very accurate. In the end, a tribunal will have to decide, but you cannot ignore a witness like this.
So
I mean,
he's still important for this case, even though you have everything on paper. And some of what he said was inaccurate.
Some was inaccurate. Of course, people like this always try to protect themselves. I mean, who's blaming them?
Himself is involved.
Of course. I mean, I was.
Why wasn't he arrested?
We were the first. No, we were the first to put him into the position of a suspect.
Yes.
And we were the ones who suggested to the Lebanese authorities, after we found out that he was involved as a suspect, to ask the French for his arrest. So it was us to put him into the status of suspect. But to some extent that also gives credibility to him, because a suspect who was involving himself voluntarily, I mean...
He's treated differently, so
yes, he's treated differently. No, we felt he had to be arrested, and he was arrested by the
now
French.
He's in France, and he's not arrested.
I don't know about now. Then he was arrested by the French. Then the Lebanese presented a request for extradition, which was refused by the French justice on legal grounds. So for the past 2.5 years, I don't know where he is, what he's doing, and I don't know, answering your next question, where the investigation is right now. I have no idea.
Okay. Concerning the other one we're talking about right now, Hussam.
Yes.
Maybe personally, I have the impression that he was able to fool the commission or fool some people involved in this case, because afterwards we discovered that he was sent to get a closer look upon some victims. And then we were really amazed when we saw his picture with eyeglasses on the crime scene after the attack that took place against jor2a, if I remember. And then, even in the case concerning me, he came to the hospital. When he made this press conference, he mentioned jor2a and me, that he saw us in Monteverdi. Until now, maybe you know where Monteverdi is. I don't know where it is. So maybe it's a personal question.
Yeah.
What's this mystery concerning this Hussam?
Again, the truth will have to be established by a tribunal, but for Hussam, he was a witness, he gave a statement, he signed a statement, and it's strange that all of a sudden a witness comes up in Syria giving a press conference. So we felt this to be a little strange. So when we left, or before we left, I presented a request of legal assistance to the Syrian authorities, asking for another chance to interview him and ask him on his motives. Because, I mean, either he lied at the press conference or he lied to us. And for both things, there must be motives. And it's, even if he lied to us, it is interesting to investigate why he had lied. Was he sent by someone? If he was sent by someone, why was he sent? So it's not as easy. It's not that easy to give a statement, to sign it, and then, well, after 2 weeks, you say, well, forget about this. I was lying. This was all untrue. So it's and in an investigation like this, it happens. It happens. It's very common.
Your personal impression about it is that this man, if you're saying maybe somebody sent him, especially to fool the commission, what does it mean? And did we have to understand that some people were already on a blacklist?
I had heard of this blacklist. It was in the press, but I had never seen it. So, frankly, my impression was this blacklist was an invention by the Lebanese press. I'm sorry to say that, because, frankly, whoever had planned these assassination attempts, he really wouldn't have to make a blacklist like number 1 is this, number 2 is this, number 3 is this.
But the fact of mentioning 2-3 names during this press conference of Hussam.
Yes. Well, I mean, I could have come up with a blacklist. Walid Jumblat would be on top, and then, well, take your choice. You would have probably been on it. jor2a would have been on it, because you were very outspoken. So it's, I mean, no one who's planning these things makes a blacklist like a shopping list.
Yes, but the fact of mentioning some special names, and 2 of 3 names were targeted.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was not that we felt he was totally unreliable. For us, he was an important witness whose credibility would have to be checked, who presented us with some credible elements. So you cannot ignore people like this. And again, it was very interesting to see that all of a sudden he comes up in Damascus. So whatever this means.
What can the conclusion of this? Frankly, with audacity.
So our conclusion, or my conclusion?
Your own personal
Okay, my personal conclusion was that